Hi, Rob right here, Right Personal Training, here to talk to you about white rice. Yes, often known as maybe a food that you should avoid when trying to lose weight. White rice can have a high glycemic index, and I'm going to teach you a way to lower that. Depending on the method in which you cook the rice will drastically depict how it affects your blood sugar levels. Now, if you just cook yourself your white rice in boiling water, a little bit of salt, you're going to end up with a high glycemic index food, which means it's going to raise your blood sugar very rapidly. It's going to cause an insulin response. And if you're in a weight loss situation, that's probably something you're going to want to avoid. If you're trying to put on muscle, that's probably something that you're going to want to have happen. But as for the most part, most folks are trying to kind of cut some weight. We're going to talk about a way to make white rice a little bit healthier for you. So if you take your white rice and you add a small amount of oil, the study that I read was it was either a half or a cup of white rice to a teaspoon of coconut oil. Now, I highly recommend using a healthy oil. Don't use like canola or something like that. Use something good. Ideally, coconut oil is probably one of the better choices. And you cook your rice like you normally would. I believe it's, but just add the oil to it. And if you take that rice out of the pot when it's done, or put it off, set it off to the side, whatever you want to do. You need it to cool down before you stick it in the fridge. But you take the rice, you cool it down, you then take the cooled down rice, put it in the refrigerator, leave it overnight, at least 12 hours, according to the study, and the next day, that rice will impact your blood sugar at half of the glycemic index that it usually would have. So what does that mean? That means that the rice actually reduced the amount of carbohydrates by up to 60%. What happens, the cooling process converts a very large amount of the starches in the white rice into what's called resistant starch. Resistant starch can't be absorbed through your digestive system. It just passes through like fiber. It's very good for your gut microbiome. So you're adding some health benefits by using this process. Also with some healthy fats added to the rice. There's nothing wrong with that. If I have often wondered, and I don't know this for sure, it's touted that this will reduce the calories in half. Well, if you add oil, you're increasing the calories, right? Now, granted, not all the carbohydrates are being absorbed. And what's the ratio between how many calories the oil adds and how many calories are reduced in carbohydrates? Debatable. But what you can rest assured is that it's not going to raise your blood sugar very much, by half actually. And by doing so, increasing the resistant starch is going to really help your digestive system. I've personally used this process for years, and I like to start my day with some rice that I have left over in the fridge. I put a handful of eggs on it, and it really helps with my food cravings throughout the day. If anybody, you guys know me, I have a voracious appetite. I eat very quickly, and I eat a ton of food. And one of the biggest issues I have with my training and diet is I overeat a lot, and eating refrigerated white rice has definitely helped curb a lot of my appetite. Providing I stick with, I start it in the morning. If I start my morning with a donut and whatever, I'm screwed for the whole day. I'm constantly reaching for carbohydrates the entire day. But with the eggs and rice meal, I think it's really good. The refrigerating the white rice has helped me a lot. Just a little tip to help those of you folks in weight loss situations. Little disclaimer: if you look up refrigerating white rice, you will find some information about rice being able to cultivate bacteria that can't be killed in the microwave later on. I have done this 1,000 times and I've ran into no issues. I'm not saying that anybody should be doing it. I'm just letting you know that there is a possibility that you may not there'll be a few warnings on the internet that if you should throw out your rice as soon as you're done with it because it can hold bacteria. Like I said, I don't know, not something I ever ran into. I do it all the time. And I know plenty of people who do it, and I've recommended it to my clients before. Yeah, that's Rob Wright, Wright Personal Training, here talking to you about rice. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.